WBS 87 FM Atlanta, WAEN FM Atlanta, and WBHA Beat Break 87 FM, a Reach One communication station.
He has performed on stage in front of thousands of poetry lovers. He has sold out shows and rocked the crowd with the best poets in the industry. Welcome to the stage, spoken word artist Patrick Duncan, better known as the Preacher Man. Critically acclaimed spoken word artist, poet, writer, and the creator of Black on Purpose TV series Wordplay, Patrick the Preacher Man Duncan is coming to a venue near you. Bring your loved ones, enjoy great entertainment, and make sure you come hungry for knowledge by the Preacher Man's thought-provoking words. Stay tuned to Beat Break 87 FM for updates on Patrick Duncan's upcoming arrival to your city. Visit cdbaby.com/CD/Patrick S. Duncan to order his latest album, What's Going On. Available online, including CD Baby and iTunes. For more info, go to BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
You're listening to the weekday version of the D Hill Radio Show on Beat Break 87 FM. Listen live to a new episode of the D Hill Radio Show every Saturday night at 7 p.m. on Beat Break 87 FM and BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
The views and opinions expressed on this program does not necessarily reflect those of Beat Break 87 FM, Reach One Communications, volunteers, staff, and management of Reach One Communications.
Who is she?
Who is this woman I keep hearing about?
Who is she? Who is she? The radio diva herself.
Oh my God, are you talking about?
That can't be. Oh, yes, it is, girl.
Wait a minute, that is her.
Yeah, that is her.
Oh my God.
D Hill, everybody.
I have to call somebody. This is amazing.
I still can't believe it's her.
Can I get your autograph?
You ain't making me miss her show. Ain't nobody got time for that. D Hill Radio Show with your host, D Hill.
Keep up the good job, man. You guys are doing a great job. I hope you blow up and become syndicated.
Call in at 404-355-8699 or 1-866-923-2860.
This is D Hill.
With your host, D Hill.
This is D Hill.
With your host, D Hill.
Now, here's your host, D Hill.
I hope everybody is enjoying this rainy, cold weather that I cannot stand. I want to give a big shout out to a documentary that I went to today. I had the young ladies here on my show about a couple of weeks ago, and the documentary was about the Olympic pride, the American prejudice. I went to go support them today because it's Black History Month. That's why they decided to do the documentary. It stemmed around Carl Lewis, one of the Olympic runners. A lot of people don't know that. It was 17 other men and women that ran with him, but for some reason, people forgot about the other runners and, just focus on Carl. But there was 17 to 18 other runners, and they did the documentary on the runners. And I think that Obama, someone told him about the other runners being ignored, and he invited them to the White House. And they called it the deflex of the Jim Crow racism. So whatever that means. But the documentary, I just want to give a shout out to everybody that was in the documentary and who put the documentary together. An excellent, excellent job that you all did. We need to know more about our Black history because there's a lot of things that I still don't know at the age of 46 that I need to know. But anyway, we got a very good show with you today. We got our relationship counselor, Miss Tracy Small. She's going to be joining us later. And now we have Mrs. Keisha Wright. She's in studio with us today. She's going to be talking about a book that she wrote. She's going to be talking about her situation and incidents with bipolar that she suffered from, and also the relationship that she was in. And just so I won't mess it up, what is the name of your book?
It's Chestnotes.
Chestnote Alta?
Bicari Alta is my branding name.
Oh, okay.
And it's Bicari, like you carry, Bicari Alta, and that stands for tall glass in Italian.
Oh, all right. So what's the beginning, the B? So what's that for? What's the meaning behind that?
With chestnuts?
Yeah. I'm probably pronouncing it right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the beginning is chestnuts. It's Christ has enlightening success strategies.
Okay. So what made you come up with that name?
Well, I was hospitalized, and God actually placed that name on my heart to know that you have a strategy through Him to be healed.
Okay. So let's back up a little bit. When you say that you was hospitalized for your bipolar.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you was first diagnosed at the age of 23.
Yes, ma'am. Fresh out of Clark Atlanta University, I was diagnosed with having a nervous breakdown.
Okay.
I actually had purchased a vehicle for a gentleman.
Okay.
And I thought I was in love with him. It was an abusive relationship that I was in. I suffered from low self-esteem.
Okay.
And it really was a lot on me. And when the diagnosis came through, it was a nervous breakdown that I had in 2003.
Wow. So my next question, I'm looking at your book and I'm looking at you. Why would you have low self-esteem? Because I think you are just so beautiful. Model type.
Thank you so much. I wanted to be a model growing up. I actually tried out for Tyra Banks' top model 4 times and was rejected.
Okay.
I was really skinny when I was growing up. I got the nickname Stick when I was growing up. So that kind of, like, it was named after a stick bug, which really brought my self-esteem down with people looking at me as thinking I was, like, really frail. And so I was real insecure, but I didn't let it show. I hid it and stuffed it, and a lot of that has to do with bringing out the bipolar as well.
Wow.
Because when you're stuffing your emotions, you can basically... when they all rush out at one time, that's when the mania starts.
Okay. Thank you for bringing that up, because I didn't think about that. You know, things that you hold in as a kid, you know, can cause bipolar when you get older.
Right. Or it could be misdiagnosed as a child. Like people, kids that have like ADD and ADHD, they could be later on diagnosed as bipolar as an adult.
Okay. So what actually brought your bipolar on? When was like your first episode that you noticed?
It happened in 2003.
Okay.
Basically, what brought it on, like I mentioned, I had purchased this vehicle and I had spent money that I shouldn't have been spending. I had got student loans taken out that I excessively was spending money on with this gentleman. And I found out that he was cheating and was doing things behind my back. And then I got into like a spiral, just kicked from all the emotions that I had, and I couldn't control it.
Okay. All right. So, like, what are some of the signs that you, besides spending money?
Promiscuity is real a sign. Talking fast is a sign.
Okay.
Sleep, losing a lot of sleep. When you don't have the proper amount of sleep and you just are up and mind's just going 100 miles per minute, that's all a sign that you could be possibly bipolar. Okay,
but it wasn't to the point was like you was like talking to yourself out loud, or
no, ma'am. That usually when people talk to themselves and things of that nature, they might be considered more schizophrenic than bipolar.
Okay,
and it's a thin line between the diagnoses. A lot of times you have to take the same medications because it's hard for people to really pick up on what's wrong with you.
Okay,
because it's a chemical imbalance that's in the brain, and the brain is so fragile that people don't know how to really diagnose it at a pinpoint, because some people are diagnosed as both bipolar and schizophrenic or manic depressive. It's so many different labels out there, but they're all mental illnesses.
Okay, and let me ask you this. I know a friend of mine, she said that she went to the doctor and she got checked for her chemical imbalance. So when you go to the doctor, for the listeners, is that what you ask for? A chemical imbalance test?
Well, they don't have a test.
Okay.
The only thing they have is a swab that can say what medicines you may or may cannot take. But they don't have an actual test to say that you're bipolar. It's all done based on symptoms.
Oh, really?
Right, exactly. And the symptoms with schizophrenia, all of that, none of the mental illnesses have a test that, and that's what makes it so hard for people to come out and really discuss what's really going on with them, because they don't know what's going on. And then there's nothing that the doctors can actually pinpoint and say at the time that this is going on, unless it's a symptom that they recognize in the past.
Okay. So what is, like, by you being diagnosed as bipolar, what's been like the hardest thing for you to like deal with?
To deal with having to be unbalanced.
Okay.
To have the rushing thoughts and not be able to control myself.
Okay.
So when you're in a state of psychosis, which I've been in several times, you're unable to control your own emotions and your thoughts and your behavior.
Okay.
And that's really been the toughest part for me, because I can know that I'm doing it, but I don't know why I'm doing it, and I can't stop.
Okay. So by you having psychosis, is it like something just taking over you and you just at a standstill and you can't do anything to...
It's a rush.
Okay.
So it's not you're at a standstill. You're actually moving faster and doing things like you can get really violent and angry and start tearing up the house and like screaming and just getting real anxious and coming out just out of your skin, out of character altogether.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing this information with us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And this is so important to me because we don't discuss bipolar in the Black community.
Right.
And it's like when somebody is going through something, and I would say I got family members and friends that does it, we gossip.
Right.
You know, somebody talking crazy. Oh, she crazy. You know, find out why she's talking crazy. Find out what's going on with her.
Right.
You know.
And a lot of things, like, I feel like with the abuse that I was dealt with, I dealt with a little bit of PTSD.
Okay.
And that could be brought on with being bipolar as well.
Okay, what is PTSD?
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Okay.
Basically, a lot of people that have been in wars, they deal with that.
Okay.
Or rape victims deal with PTSD. But it's anything that causes trauma to the brain.
Okay.
Can suffer from that.
All right. Okay. What's my next question I was going to ask you? Okay. And I want you to be honest with me when I ask you this.
Okay.
I had a counselor here 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
He said eating has a lot to do with bipolar.
Eating?
Yes. The food that you put in your mouth. How's your eating habits?
Well,
do you eat healthy?
I try to eat healthy.
Okay.
The medicines that you're on a lot of times when you're bipolar causes increased appetites.
Okay.
So you gain weight and you, like I've gained a lot of weight by being on different medicines.
Okay.
So it throws off your typical eating habits. It can.
Really? Okay. So what I mean by eating healthy, I mean more like green foods and vegetables and healthy eating.
Well, I try, but I still like my steaks. I like my fried chicken. My fried chicken, yes. But I've never really heard that from anyone before to say that the foods that you eat have to do with it. But I could see where the chemicals that they put on foods can trigger on bipolar as well. I can definitely see that.
Okay. So the first chapter in your book is called Life versus Chess Piece. Okay, what is that about?
That chapter indicates how you have hope.
Okay.
And I use the pawn as hope. And how you maneuver your pawn 2 steps forward. And how the pawn is actually the first move that you make in chess.
Okay.
So I go through the pawn, I go through the bishop. The bishop is for personal advocacy.
Okay.
And I learned all this from RAP. It's a website that you can go to, and it's WRAP.
Okay.
And they discuss the difference between chess pieces and life.
Okay.
So that's basically what I described in that chapter, how you deal with your chess pieces to place them in the correct order to deal with life in itself.
Okay. I met your parents. You have very, very strong, good support team.
Yes, I do.
So what advice would you give to other family members who's dealing with somebody in their family that has bipolar? Maybe to somebody mom, to somebody father, who has a child that has bipolar. What advice?
Basically, don't be afraid of the situation.
Okay.
Seek help. Because the psychiatrist and the therapist work as teams to help you to overcome it. I feel that I'm healed from bipolar.
Okay.
I feel
Congratulations.
that. Thank you. I feel that through the process of what I've gone through, that I'm now aware of what triggers me, what can and bring on mania, what with losing sleep. If I'm losing too much sleep, I'll tell my parents, I'm like, look, I'm not able to sleep. I need to take some medicine, or I need to contact my doctor to figure out what I need to do in order to get back balanced.
Okay.
So I say definitely reach out to some professional. You have to seek professional help because you can't do it on your own.
Thank you. And I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I don't know why, but, you know, we feel, once again, in the black community, people that go talk to a psychiatrist crazy. When you go talk to somebody, you crazy. And I wish that we would just get away from that.
Right. Well, it's crazy not to.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
thank you.
If you have situations going on, it's crazy to just sit home and cry and not figure out what's going on with you. And parents need to pay attention to what their kids are doing, and because drugs can bring out bipolar, like recreational marijuana use and things like that. The chemicals that are put on the drugs can bring out bipolar in a child.
Okay. All right. And also, not only that, is when it's laced, when people add stuff to it.
Right, exactly. That increases the chances that your brain is going to be unbalanced.
Okay. So do you think that, well, maybe you don't know, but do you think that just regular marijuana may help some bipolar? Without it being laced?
Without it being laced? It's funny that you asked that, because I would rather probably be on marijuana if I was in a legal state for it than to be on the medications.
Okay.
But it's still stuff that's being tested out.
Yeah.
So it's not proven that it helps, but I know that when I used to smoke recreationally, it would help me go to sleep.
Okay.
And that's what my main issue is with dealing with bipolar, is losing sleep and getting my brain thrown off from losing sleep.
When you say you don't, when you say that you lose sleep, is it because it's something that just happened, or maybe you're upset or stressed out?
It can be stress.
Okay.
It can be stress related, or it could be that I just can't shut down, like insomnia. When people have insomnia, they suffer from not being able to shut the brain down completely at night. And so I try to sleep in the dark and have it where everything is quiet and I can get my brain to relax on its own.
Okay. All right. You have a book signing.
Yes, February 16th at Clark Atlanta University.
All right. And you're also working on another book.
Yes.
As well.
It's called Mastering the Game.
Okay.
So basically, Chess Notes is the introduction of how to play the game of chess. Mastering the Game is how you're going to win. And finally, I will have Checkmate when I actually win, and show you how
you will.
We
know it.
Final healing of bipolar will be in my life.
All right. And how can they follow you on social media?
I'm at Bicchiere Alta, and that's BICCHIERE .ALTA@gmail.com. You can email me, or my hashtags are all Bicchiere Alta on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and I have my own website as well, which is BicciereAlta.com.
All right.
And I'll spell that one more time for the listeners. It's BICCHIERE
Okay. Before we leave, you was diagnosed with bipolar at the age of 23.
Yes, ma'am.
And you went to college.
Yes, ma'am.
You did not let that beat you down. You went to college.
I graduated from Clark Atlanta, and I found out I was bipolar. But I actually graduated from the University of Phoenix with my MBA with a 3.91 GPA. And when I was doing my master's, I wasn't taking medicine at the time.
Okay.
Because the medicine actually hinders me from concentrating. So I had took myself off. But then I had an episode afterwards that made me realize that I can't take myself off the medicine alone.
Okay. You had the episode. Is it because you was writing a book? You think maybe
the episode with I was actually just had graduated from the University of Phoenix, and I was in another relationship.
Okay.
And I was trying to, again, it seems like I'm a helper, and I always get the wrong helpmate.
Yeah. We've all been there and done that.
So I was in this relationship, and he was working to be a promoter, and I was working to brand myself.
Okay.
But I was losing sleep trying to help him. And an episode came on where I was triggered with anxiety and too much, and it just happened.
Okay.
But the book, actually, when I was writing the book, I did have an episode where I couldn't sleep because I was too busy focused on writing, and I had to be hospitalized again.
Okay.
So the main thing to focus on is to focus on your sleep habits. And the focus, you said eating is right. And you don't want to eat late at night and to keep yourself up while you're eating and watching TV. Like, the main thing is to focus on what you're doing as normal as possible. And 8 hours of sleep is supposed to be your normal thing. A lot of people don't want to get that amount of sleep because they think it's too much and they have things to do. But you need your 8 hours of sleep. At least taking a break or vacation where you catch up on your sleep is very important when dealing with this situation.
Yeah, definitely a real vacation. I remember once, this church I used to attend a long time ago, he said that parents dropping your kids off to the grandmamas is not them taking a vacation. And you're right, what people need to take more vacations.
Yes, time out and to rest.
Yes.
Because the brain is just so sensitive, and you never know what could trigger an episode.
Okay.
There's so many people that suffer from it from the first time, and we were talking about the veteran that had suffered from bipolar that was walking around naked and was shot and killed because no one understood what was going on with him. People are dying behind bipolar. People are doing things to go to jail, and the jails don't know how to handle you once you're in there. It's so much that's going on that people need to just be open and honest to others and say, hey, look, this is out of my norm. Can you please help me? I need help. And you know when you need help. In the past, I knew it, but I didn't want to admit that I needed it. And that's what really, you have to come to an acceptance of yourself with what's going on with you to really deal with being bipolar, schizophrenic, manic depressive, anything that is not what you would say normal. You need to know how to help yourself with that. And you can deal with it as long as you know that you put God first. It'll happen. You can deal with it.
All right. And like I said, you're a living testimony because you said yourself that, you feel that you are healed. And I do also. And once again, the name of your book is called what? And when Chest Notes. And when is the book signing?
It's February 16th at Clark Atlanta University from 12 to 2.
Okay. And once again, how can they get in contact with you?
At BiccierAlta.com. BiccierEalta.com.
You're on social media?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Facebook.
You can also Google Keisha Wright. And my name is Keesha. Last name WRIGHT. And it'll come up as well, my Facebook. And I'm happy to talk to anyone that wants to talk.
Okay.
I'm there because I know it hurts when other people just think you're crazy and you can't handle yourself. It really does hurt. But to have a support system, you have to have, even if it's not your parents, you have to find yourself a good support system. And it's people out there that will support you, even if you have a fear that your parents won't or don't know how to handle you. It's people out there that are there to help.
Okay, and that's good, and people need to really hear that. And I want to thank you so much for coming on the D Hill Show. And
thank you for having me.
And definitely, when you start on your next book, we would definitely love to have you back.
Okay. Thank you.
And I know in the next 2 years, I'm not even going to give it that long, you're going to come back and say, D, I've been healed completely. So we're going to wait on that good news, which I know you already are now.
Thank you.
And, once again, much love to you.
Thank you.
And thank you for being an advocate of bipolar because, like I say, we need to get that word out there.
Yes, we do.
We need to get information out there. All right, so we're getting ready to go to a song, and we will be back shortly.
Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
Hi, This is Clifford English, your host and producer of The Gospel Train. Join me every Sunday right here on Beat Break 87 FM radio. You will be encouraged, you will be equipped, you will be educated, you will be entertained, all while hearing the best in gospel music. Don't miss your connection with The Gospel Train right here on Beat Break 87 FM radio. BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
We specialize in creating mobile apps for the entertainment industry. Go to bvmobileapps.com, click Get Started Now, create your account, choose your package, upload your content, and click Submit. BV Mobile Apps. Make it easy. Make it mobile.
Hey world, it's your man Precise, and I have great news. The Precise Music app is finally available for your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry through Amazon and other app stores. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z. Go get it for all things Precise. Powered by BlackVibes.com. Stay in tune. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z.
He has performed on stage in front of thousands of poetry lovers. He has sold out shows and rocked the crowd with the best poets in the industry. Welcome to the stage, spoken word artist, Patrick Duncan, better known as the Preacher Man.
I am Benjamin P. Montgomery. I invented a goat propeller. I am the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela.
Critically acclaimed spoken word artist, poet, writer, and the creator of Black on Purpose poetry TV series Wordplay. Patrick the Preacher Man Duncan is coming to a venue near you.
Why is the only time we can come together as a nation is when there are acts of insanity, chaos, or devastation.
Stay tuned to Beat Break 87 FM for updates on Patrick Duncan's upcoming arrival to your city. Visit cdbaby.com/CD/Patrick S. Duncan to order his latest album, What's Going On. Available online, including CD Baby and iTunes.
I want this high and have no affiliation to a political party. I want this high to be spiritual.
For more info, go to BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
Beat Break 87 FM wants to help you get the word out on your next community event.
Hey, do you have an upcoming public service announcement that you want listeners to know about? Well, email us the info to psabeatbreak87@gmail.com so we can help spread the word. That's psabeatbreak87@gmail.com. If your event flyer has the words nonprofit, community, support, charity, and just describes everything about helping our community, please share the special event right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
Previously on the Beat Break Morning Show.
Comedian Doodle Brown, ladies and gentlemen, it's already in the building.
I do it all. Def Comedy Jam, P. Diddy's Bad Boys of Comedy.
What else can you do?
What else can I do?
Aren't
I what? Just spit it out.
A minister?
I'm an ordained minister, yes.
Awesome.
I did not know that.
Awesome.
Yes.
Wow, because I was looking at, I went online, I looked at one of the videos, and it was a woman who was kind of half naked, and she was up on you and stuff. And so with Lily pointing out that you are a minister, I'm like, okay, how current was that video? How recent was that video?
That's my most recent video. Won't it do it?
The best part of waking up isn't Folgers. It's the Beat Break Morning Show. Start your morning off right with Sean Garvey and the crew on BeatBreakRadioFM.com. When it comes to hip hop,
Don't stop.
R&B, and talk radio, no one does it better than Beat Break 87 FM.
All right, thank you all for tuning back into the D Hill Radio Show. And I just want to send a shout out to everybody. Happy Black History Month. Wow, so much to celebrate. You know, it's like every year I found out something that we have done that's just been so spectacular. And I think that needs to be taught every day, not just during Black History Month. Once again, just showing love to everybody. This beautiful month, Black History Month, the shortest month it is throughout the year, but we still gonna celebrate it with a bang. I got Tracy Small in with us today, our relationship counselor. I got it right this time. No?
Ambassador?
Okay, relationship ambassador. Okay. Okay. Because I got like 15 different names down here.
Oh, wow.
And I've been knowing you for years, so I don't know how I keep getting.
And it's okay. It's
confused.
okay, D. Much love, much love. How's everybody doing out there tonight? Hello, hello.
Okay. Would it be okay if I just call you the relationship lady?
Yes, that would be perfectly okay with me. If you like it, I love it.
All right, so what are we going to be talking about tonight?
Falling basically madly in love with yourself.
Okay, wow. We need that.
Yeah.
Did you hear the my other guest?
I did. She was awesome. She was really awesome. And, you know, one good thing that she said is the fact that, you know, it needs to be more exposure to mental health and, you know, to come to the realization that it does exist and is real.
Yeah.
And, you know, for, you know, blacks and in the black community, you know, we should be open to it.
Yeah.
And it's nothing about, you know, seeing a psychiatrist or a therapist that makes you crazy or, you know, make you feel that you are crazy. But in actuality, going and seeing and seeking help enables you to maintain, you know, a healthier state of being, a healthier mindset.
That's true. And I think that the topic that we're going to be discussing tonight, falling in love with yourself, is meant definitely for her. So I'm going to send this episode right here to her.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Definitely.
And, you know, it's good that she was able to come out and speak about her experience, you know, because oftentimes a lot of people are, you know, ashamed, you know, to do so.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I'm really hoping that, you know, it was inspiring to, you know, someone that may be dealing with, you know, psychological issues and knowing that, you know, there are professionals out here that can actually help you. You know, and I being, you know, one myself with my master's being in counseling, you know, I, you know, pretty much know about the DSM and the diagnoses of, you know, different mental health disorders.
Okay. So how can one fall in love with themselves?
It's an inborn process.
Okay.
And it basically starts, you know, like I always say, how important it is to understand being able to fall madly in love with yourself actually starts from the foundation, your surroundings.
Okay.
You know, your caretaker, whoever took care of you as a child, and what it was that they instilled in you.
Okay.
What that love really looks like, what it feels like. And then subconsciously, it's embedded in our minds.
Okay.
Whether it's taught, learned, or heard. What does love really mean to you? And then if it was, you know, given to you in a form that is not applicable, then as a person, as you get older, you could decide to tear down what love really is and mean to you, and then rebuild it. Because, you know, in some families, you know, when you're growing up, if you see your parents or your caretaker constantly arguing and fighting and all, then you may begin to think, well, that's what love is.
Okay.
And until you're exposed to something different where love is eye contact, the hugging and the kissing and, you know, spending quality time together without all the chaoticness, then you see that as your symbol.
Yeah.
And you could, you know, replicate that if you choose to do so.
Yeah.
So and even just falling in love madly takes an individual day-to-day process. Telling yourself that, being able to look in the mirror and love absolutely everything about you. You're good, you're not so good, those that are in between, those that was just horrible, that had you, you know, crying at night with the snorty nose, the whole 9 yards, loving every aspect of your being.
Okay.
You know, that made you who you are, like myself, Tracy, and the things that have made D Hill up. Being able to accept every aspect and embracing it.
Yeah.
And being able to grow from what it is that you've been exposed to.
And Tracy, I think, to me, this is just so important for parents to tell your kids you love them. Kiss on them. I just think that it's so important for parents to do that every day.
I totally agree. And even, you know, with you and I both not having any children, we strongly feel that should be the case.
Yes.
And even to this day, I do. It's like, because if you're not telling them, you don't ever want your child to not know that verbally. You've got to verbalize and show and tell them, I love you. Give them that pat on the shoulder. You know, I mean, but some kids, for whatever reason, they don't get that.
Yeah. Because even I was telling a co-worker of mine, he has a son. His son is like 26 years old. I'm like, do you ever kiss him? No, don't do that. No, don't do that. We men. I ain't talking about tongue kissing, but just kiss him on the forehead, kiss him on the jaw, and just tell him that you love him. Why do you think men kind of...
And see,
it's a big no-no for men to do that with their son.
And you and I are thinking totally just the opposite, and it's good that you have your producer, because I'm looking at him through this mirror, and he's like, really, nah, you just don't do that. He's, shaking his head like, no way. But you and I personally feel that, okay, if he's your son, this is your son, 26, 36, 46, you're the daddy. It's perfectly okay to show that affection, a kiss on the forehead, and it'd be okay, and not minimize your masculinity. Yeah. But again, it has to be taught that it is okay. It is okay to hug your grown son, and it's okay to hug and kiss on the forehead your son. Okay, your producers say no to the kiss. So we're going to let him, kind of expound upon that and, get his idea and perception from a man's point of view.
And this is just his opinion on his opinion.
Yes, this is my personal opinion on this. Now, I totally agree with the continued just showing of emotions, because me as a man, my dad told me he loved me 2 years ago for the first time.
Wow.
Of me ever that I can remember.
Yeah.
So I tell my son every time I talk to him that I love him.
Great.
My son is 10. So, and I let him know that it's okay. It's okay to cry when there's a need to cry. Now, this overly emotional thing he has sometimes because he's around women most of the time. Now, that's something that we working through. But I have no problem with that. And right now, as him being a 10-year-old, I make sure I hug him and kiss him on the forehead. But after he's a grown-ass man, no.
Really?
I mean, it's because at this point, and like I say, I'm a hug, we gonna always, it's my boy, so I'm always give him a good hug, but as far as, no, I think one of the absolute gayest things I ever seen was when Lil Wayne kissed Birdman.
That's not his daddy, though.
But I mean, he played the role as his daddy. So whoever playing the role as your daddy, he's showing you these things. I think that was just a little far there, but it did. But then it all goes back to what do you call manhood and how you feel about self. So, and I have absolutely no problem with masculinity. But I just after a certain age, the whole kissing.
Okay, Rick, I'm not talking about tongue and in the mouth.
I know what you thought, I know it, but I just don't. I think after a certain age, I don't need to kiss my son.
Okay, so what if your son wants to kiss you? Would you have a problem with that?
I don't believe my son will want to kiss me, but no, I mean, we may have to have a conversation. Why? I mean, because there's something that's going to be leading him to do that.
Because he love his daddy.
Yeah, basically. And then too,
and don't continue, I always love my son. So that's like I say, my nephew, when I see my nephew, 19 years old, give him a hug.
Okay.
Because, I mean, we as men need to know it's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And again,
like those things I don't have a problem with, but I think at a certain age, no, like it's not.
And like Dee said, for the audience, for those that are chiming in, that is just, a personal perception that, the producer is projecting out there. That is not to say to anyone out there that, wants to still, love and gravitate in that manner to your adult son that, it's not acceptable, to each his own.
Yeah.
And it's perfectly okay. So, we do want to make that clear. However you guys decide to want to show, your affection to your children, it's perfectly, to a degree that you find as appropriate.
I think maybe it's like a woman thing because me, right up until my mom died, I've always kissed my mama.
Yeah.
I was a grown woman. I was always kissing my mom.
And same thing with me up until my daddy passed. I was a grown woman and would still kiss him on the lips. And it was okay. that was acceptable.
Yeah.
But, again, you're reared, and everybody's reared differently, and, display love differently.
And we're talking about falling in love with yourself. Do you think that more women maybe fall in love with themselves than men?
I really don't believe that to be the case.
You don't? Okay, you think more men?
No,
Okay.
I think it may be equally balanced.
Okay.
And even if it's not, the main objective is just to be able to identify with what that means to yourself, to madly fall in love with yourself. And the great thing about it is, in today's time, if there's some aspects of your being that you really just don't care for, cosmetically, you can take care of it, or even, just being more mindful of, the healthy part of building a better you. They're products that can make you a better you if you have some issues with just you as a person. So I think, in a nutshell, that within itself is a great thing. But, just falling madly in love with yourself is just being able to accept every aspect of your being and, working on accepting it, and those things that you're not able to accept, figure out why is it and be willing to work through that process.
Okay, so what's like the first step? Maybe looking into the mirror, telling yourself you're beautiful?
Yes, and some people are not able to do that simply because, they have a sense of feeling, ashamed and embarrassed of their past or even their current situation, that they literally cannot look in the mirror. But I think that would be a great start, being able to have the ability every day to literally look yourself in the mirror and say, oh my God, I'm handsome, I'm beautiful, I'm gorgeous. I'm sexy. Those are things that you can say to yourself, and it's perfectly okay. And you should. And it's actually building upon your own self-confidence. Because oftentimes, you may not get that from somebody else. So then that's where you have to literally tap within yourself.
Okay. So let me ask you this. I know before I had said that I'm always kissing on my nieces and nephews and telling them that I love them. Do you think maybe if you start at an early age telling them that they are beautiful, they are pretty, maybe that might start going to their head? And, people used to term today, oh, she thinks she's cute. So you think would that stem from that?
But I think it's very important that as a child, that you verbalize to your children, to your nieces, to your nephew, how beautiful they are, how handsome they are. And it's perfectly okay, because what that is doing is giving them that self-reassurance from someone that loved them, so that they can continue from what they're hearing, project that and say that to themselves. And then being able to show them what that looks like. Like you said, you exemplify it with the hugs and the kisses. So, I think as early could be, those are the words that you tell your children and your loved ones, so that when they are preteens and teenagers and young adults, they're able to actually feel that within themselves, simply because that was the groundwork that was implanted in them.
I started a campaign. I started this years ago, and it was for it was for women only. I did it for women only. And you had to give out 3 compliments that day. 2 women that you knew and 1 that you didn't know.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, you had to give out a compliment.
Okay, that was a great movement.
Yeah.
Are you still doing it? I think you should. Start it back.
Yeah, I think I should. Yeah, I was just doing it like maybe once a year, so I think I should actually start that back. Because, we can tell ourselves that we love ourselves all day.
Yeah.
But to me, it sounds better when somebody else is,
actually tells you
that. Telling you that and showing you that.
It does. And, that dates back to the fact that even though we should, give ourselves, a pat on the shoulder, it's nothing like getting it or hearing it from somebody else.
Yeah. Affirmation.
Exactly. We all want it, desire it, and it's perfectly okay. It's like an extra stamp of approval.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So what about for the ones that suffer or dealing with low self-esteem? How can we tell them, okay, you need to start telling yourself that you love yourself? Well, I ain't feeling that right now. So, what advice would you get to those people?
I mean, basically for those that are challenged in that area, again, everything starts at the root. Finding out why is it that you have this, issue with self-confidence. And then being able to admit where it's coming from and then being able to work through the process to get to another level where you can say, I forgive myself for what I have done, or I forgive him or her for what they have imposed upon me. I forgive, my loved one for what they have done to me that has created the sense of being challenged with my own self-identity. But it starts with you recognizing, and being able to determine where is it coming from.
One way I was able to help a young lady through some of her self-esteem issues was
give her that loving.
No, that's one way to hurt. That's absolutely a great way to hurt somebody, self-esteem. But I used to tell her she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey, beautiful, how you doing? Hello, beautiful, how you doing?
Yeah.
And just doing it. Hey, beautiful, how you doing? And one day she asked me, why did I do that? I said, because I think you're beautiful.
Wow.
And then she went through a whole thing of, I don't feel that. And my next question to her is, why?
Exactly.
Do you not feel that way?
Yeah.
And I had to, maybe I need you to see what I see. But at that point, it wasn't, it started becoming a physical thing that I'm seeing. I need you to see past the physical into the mental beautifulness in you.
Okay.
And once she started to do that, she started to realize and started to shake off some of the mess in her that she had.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, I'm trying to find this this sermon that I actually watched, and it's entitled "Sister Need Help."
Wow.
But in this sermon, and I'm not a religious man, but in this sermon, he was speaking to the power of woman and all that y'all give.
Yeah.
And a lot of times y'all giving so much to y'all are not being replenished.
Exactly.
And you start giving from a deficit. And once you start giving from a deficit, that's when a lot of the problems in some ways starts to happen. So you need affirmation.
Yeah.
You need the attention. You need these things to help you to be able to continue to be the strong woman that you are.
Yeah.
So, but now I'm going to see if I can find it.
Okay, awesome.
Let y'all know what it is so y'all can put it out.
Yeah. That was great what you actually indicated, like you said, just being able to convey to that person, that they are beautiful. And then, again, finding out why is it that you have issues with your self-confidence? Where is it coming from? Where, because everything has an underlying and root cause.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are not really ready, or if they're ready, it may be so painful that they just don't want to address it to get to a next level. And the more that they work towards getting to that point where they can build upon their confidence within themselves, the better that they will become, where they can literally just, without any issues, say it to themselves and really mean it and know that they are, So it takes work, and you got, it's a process of being committed to doing the work.
Yeah.
If that makes, any sense, what I'm saying.
Yeah, it does. You saying you're beautiful and actually, feeling that you're beautiful. And, sometimes I don't want to say go to folks' head. Maybe that's the...
It's just being, but in some actuality, it does, to the point where some people have a tendency to just really become so ungrateful, so arrogant that they're so beautiful and they're so gorgeous that they have a tendency to kind of maybe look down on others. So
we're definitely not talking about that kind of beauty.
Exactly. Yeah, so, not that type at all.
More of the inside spiritual beauty.
Exactly.
That
which
we're talking about
projects outwardly.
But the thing I found out with dealing with people like that, something is wrong with them.
Yeah.
Something is they need that to help them fight through whatever it is, because they have a problem.
Yeah.
Psychologically.
Yeah.
That they need to take care of, so they're using that to try to help themselves.
It's like their own personal booster. Yeah.
Okay. Because I ran into a couple of them.
Yeah. Oftentimes I do too.
Yeah. Ran into a couple of them like that. All right. So we're talking about falling in love with yourself. So I know this pastor by the name of Juanita Bynum. She was telling the women, instead of asking a man to buy you something, buy it yourself.
Exactly.
Take yourself to the movies. Take yourself out to eat. That's loving yourself.
And that's part of loving yourself and being okay with that. I mean, that's a great start as well. You don't always have to get it from a man, or a man doesn't always have to get it from a woman. Be self-sufficient and do the things that enable you to continue to fall madly in love with yourself. Because, if you're not madly in love with yourself, what is it that you're going to project to the people that you come in contact with?
Yeah, that's true. We'll probably settle for less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And who really wants to do that? But, to each his own. But the objective is to basically be able to give yourself what you want in return from someone else.
Yeah. Did you find that sermon yet, sir?
Actually, I did.
Okay.
Let's say that.
So we're going to give y'all some encouraging words.
Okay, it's YouTube. The pastor name is Darius Daniels, Kingdom Church, and it's called Help a Sister Out. It's powerful. Like I say, I don't do religion, but it's
yeah. Barely. All right, mic check.
Can you hear me now?
Just no.
Microphone.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I can hear. Oh, Lord. But yeah, like I say, I'm not a religious person at all. And if you didn't hear that, his name is Darius Daniels, Kingdom Church, and it's called Help a Sister Out. And basically, like I say, it's about helping women to replenish for all the things that they give. And these are some of the things that can help with I think with esteem, because you have to be attentive to them.
Yeah.
You have to be reassuring.
Yeah.
And these different things to help replenish y'all so y'all can keep helping us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the key word that you said, attentive. I don't think that people do that anymore in any relationships.
Attentiveness?
Yeah.
And that's something that, takes a daily work at it. Oftentimes, when you're in relationships, people have a tendency to just get comfortable and get complacent and not be attentive, which, can definitely deteriorate that togetherness.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very important to always, be mindful and attentive. Because when you're attentive, you know just by the look in her eyes or just by the look in his eyes what is really going on within that person. You're able to be more relatable just from being attentive.
All right, so we're talking about, I think you need to probably write a book about falling in love with yourself.
Well, in all actuality, as we're speaking now, my relationship book is actually in the hand of the editor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm looking to have this book out at least by the latter part of the spring.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm working on it. It's in the works.
All right. So what else you have coming on? Got coming up. I'm tired, y'all.
I know, and I am too. That's perfectly okay. Like I said, my relationship book is actually in the hands of the editor. So I'm a big advocate for, relationship enhancements, whether it is intimate or platonic.
Okay.
And July of this year, I am hosting the second year of the Castle OBM Award. So I'm looking for you guys to come out, and I'll have the information coming out very shortly as to how you could nominate Black men of excellence.
All right, definitely. That sounds good.
Yeah, and it actually stands for Creating Awareness, Supporting the Legendary Endeavors of Black Men.
All right, so we'll definitely be supporting, standing behind you for that one. Thank you. So what I have coming up, March the 23rd, we're actually honoring Program and Promotions Director at the State Capitol at 206 Washington Street, and that is from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. And we got program directors from V103, 107.5, 104.1, and 102.5, and we're just so excited about that. This is history. It's never been done before in the state of Georgia, and I just want to acknowledge people in radio.
Awesome.
Acknowledge people in radio, and we're just so excited about that. And Tony Brown, how many more minutes we got? We got 1 minute.
1 minute.
I just want to Tony Brown, He was in, he's been the program director. He's not now, but years ago he was. And it's like the people that worked under him at V103 then has nothing but nice things to say about him.
Awesome.
They speak so highly of him. It's like the ones that work at the radio station now can't wait to meet him.
Wow, that's a great thing.
Yeah, a very great thing. So shouts out to all the program directors that I'm going to be honoring on March the 23rd. And it's a free event, so make sure that you come, and meet other radio people that's in radio broadcasting. Come out, network, and pass out your cards and, get your shine on.
Yeah.
Once again, we want to thank you all for tuning in to the D Hill Radio Show, where we come to you live every Saturday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Peace.
Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
Hi, this is Clifford English, your host and producer of The Gospel Train. Join me every Sunday right here on Beat Break 87 FM radio. You will be encouraged, you will be equipped, you will be educated, you will be entertained, all while hearing the best in gospel music. Don't miss your connection with the Gospel Train right here on Beat Break 87 FM radio. BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
We specialize in creating mobile apps for the entertainment industry. Go to bvmobileapps.com, click Get Started Now, create your account, choose your package, upload your content, and click Submit. BV Mobile Apps. Make it easy. Make it mobile.
Hey world, it's your man Precise, and I have great news. The Precise Music app is finally available for your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry through Amazon and other app stores. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z. Go get it for all things Precise. Powered by BlackVibes.com. Stay in tune. That's Precise Music. Music is spelled with a Z.
He has performed on stage in front of thousands of poetry lovers. He has sold out shows and rocked the crowd with the best poets in the industry. Welcome to the stage, spoken word artist, Patrick Duncan, better known as the Preacher Man.
I am Benjamin P. Montgomery. I invented a boat propeller. I am the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela!
Critically acclaimed spoken word artist, poet, writer, and the creator of Black on Purpose poetry TV series Wordplay. Patrick the Preacher Man Duncan is coming to a venue near you.
Why is the only time we can come together as a nation is when there are acts of insanity, chaos, or devastation.
Stay tuned to Beat Break 87 FM for updates on Patrick Duncan's upcoming arrival to your city. Visit cdbaby.com/CD/Patrick S. Duncan to order his latest album, What's Going On. Available online, including CD Baby and iTunes.
I want this high to have no affiliation to a political party. I want this high to be spiritual.
For more info, go to BeatBreakRadioFM.com.
Beat Break 87 FM wants to help you get the word out on your next community event.
Hey, do you have an upcoming public service announcement that you want listeners to know about? Well, email us the info to psabeatbreak87@gmail.com so we can help spread the word. That's psabeatbreak87@gmail.com. If your event flyer has the words nonprofit, community, support, charity, and just describes everything about helping our community, please share the special event right here on Atlanta's new underground station, Beat Break 87 FM, where music and talk radio lives.
Previously on the Beat Break Morning Show.
Comedian Doodle Brown, ladies and gentlemen, it's already in the building.
I do it all. Def Comedy Jam, P. Diddy's Bad Boys of Comedy.
What else can you do?
What else can I do?
Aren't
I what? Just spit it out.
a minister?
I'm an ordained minister, yes.
Awesome.
I did not know that.
Awesome.
Yes.
Wow, because I was looking at, I went online, I looked at one of the videos, and it was a woman who was kind of half naked, and she was up on you and stuff. And so with Lily pointing out that you are a minister, I'm like, okay, how current was that video? How recent was that video?
That's my most recent video. fresh. Won't it do it?
The best part of waking up isn't Folgers. It's the Beat Break Morning Show. Start your morning off right with Sean Garvey and the crew on BeatBreakRadioFM.com. When it comes to hip hop,
Don't stop.
R&B, and talk radio, no one does it better than Beat Break 87 FM.